Google has released Gemini 3.7 Flash. You can see on this post here that it was released on August 13th, so it's more than a week ago. You may or may not have access to it. It really just depends. So I'll point out a couple of things in their introduction post here, not too much. We'll link the post in the description. You can read through the whole thing if you're interested. Mentions in here that they released 3.7 only 3 weeks after they released 3.6 Flash, and because of developer feedback and other things in there. It has a normal benchmark information. I don't put a ton of value in that, and it's not a Google thing, whether it's OpenAI, Google, Anthropic, Meta, it doesn't really matter. What I've found with these is that a lot of times the companies run their own tests. If it's not like an independent lab that's doing the testing, if Google's running their own test, they're probably going to only release the results that make their models look good. So I don't put a ton of value in the benchmarks that they have in these posts. So I'm just kind of, again, we'll put the article in the description if you want to look through, but just take the results with a grain of salt, because I'm pretty sure in this case they ran their own tests. More benchmarks, etc. What I do want to show you is the developer documentation, and we're not going to go through all of it, just a couple of the finer points. We'll link this in the description as well, but just to show you what the model can do. So it can take text, image, audio, or video input for context, and then it will only give you text out. But a lot of models won't allow you to do, images, audio, and video in. So that's good to know, and it's good options to have. Tokens, it's just over a million tokens. Context window, total, only 65K out, but for most people, in most cases, that's fine. You can read through the different capabilities here, point out a couple of them, thinking, keep in mind, this is developer documentation, so this is basically for if you're going to code something with it. So like something like system instructions, if you're just going to use Gemini app, you don't really have access to system instructions. So you might not have access to all the things listed here if you're just going to use Gemini app or use it in even like AI Studio or Google.com AI mode. You might not have all these options. But it's a thinking, reasoning model. It has structured output. Let me see, grounded in Google Search and Google Maps, function calling, code execution, etc. You can do up to 3,000 images per prompt. You can have 7 meg per file. Let's see, supported types here. You have PNG, JPEG, WebP, GIC, HAF. Text, you can have 3,000 files per prompt. You can have 3,000 pages per file. Let me see, you can just have plain text. You can have PDF. Video, again, video, if you're going to use it for input context, you can have, if there's audio with the video, it can be up to 45 minutes. If there's no audio, so only video, it can be up to an hour. And you can have up to 10 videos per prompt. The supported video types are here. And then for audio, again, input context only, you can have up to 8.4 hours or up to 1 million tokens of audio. Now, these are pretty big numbers, especially if you're just using Gemini app. Those are pretty massive numbers. It has the parameter defaults. Again, I don't know. Google had something recently where they said they actually got rid of temperature top P, top K specifically for future models. So, but actually have to test these. I don't know. That contradicts what I saw in a Google thing recently. So I don't know if temperature top P and top K are actually in there. Again, if you're using Gemini app, you won't really see those anyway. And there's that. So the other thing with this, what I've at least experienced, so this is just Gemini app, so just gemini.google.com. And I don't have access to 3.7 in here. And I still have 3.6 Flash, 3.6 Thinking, 3.1 Pro. I don't have 3.7 Flash in here. And this is a Pro account tied to Google Workspace. My Plus account is the same way. My free account's the same way. So I don't actually have access to 3.7 Flash in here. That's why I mentioned in the beginning, you may or may not have access to it. I don't know. It said some of the different documentation that I've seen said almost a week ago that they were going to roll it out everywhere. So I don't know. Your experience might be different. If you would like to use it immediately, you can go to just google.com, like Google search AI mode. Let me switch over to that. So now this is just google.com. And then on the right side here, you have AI mode. And yeah, so now if you go in there and click on the plus here, you have fast and pro. Click on fast and then click in the prompting area and you can ask, what model is this using? That was not useful. Is this using Gemini 3.7 Flash? And it is. So now this, again, google.com, AI mode. Yes, this is using Gemini models for blah, blah, blah. So you'll have to try this and see. I actually did this right before I started recording, and I did this exact same thing. I went into google.com, went into AI mode, and then I asked if it was using Gemini 3.7 Flash, and it actually said, yes, this is using Gemini 3.7 Flash. This now says, well, it's rolled it out across different platforms. The exact version can change depending on the specific app. So I don't know. Again, this is the whole, you may have it, you may not. I don't know. The only place that I've seen it be consistently available is Google AI Studio. So now this is AI Studio, and that's just aistudio.google.com. And then you want to go to the playground, which is the default, but you might have to click on it sometimes. It goes somewhere else, or maybe if you were in here before. And then if you go over to the upper right, you expand this icon here, and this is where you can select your model. For me, 3.7 Flash is already chosen, but let's say it wasn't for you. If you click on there, you'll get this model selection window, and then you can go through all the different models that it has. If you just click on Gemini here, 3.7 Flash should be at the top. If it's not at the top, scroll until you see it. But if you click on it, then you'll have access. You'll actually start with 3.7 Flash, and then you can set the system instructions in here. You can set the thinking level. You can see all the different options in here. And then these match up mostly with what was in that documentation that I showed you a minute ago. And this actually does have top P. I don't see temperature. Anyway. Once you have the model selected, and then you have whatever tools you want to use, you have your parameters set, you have everything set, you can then just use the playground as basically a playground, and you can just put in whatever prompts you want. You can, have, if you want grounding with Google search on or off, you can do that. If you click on tools, you have a bunch of options in here, and the whole thing with AI Studio, it's more for developers to just kind of play around with the models and see how it responds to different prompts so that they can build applications around it. If you don't have 3.7 Flash in Gemini app, or if google.com is giving you weird answers, you can come in here and try it out. It's built off of the same foundation as 3.6 Flash. Again, they kind of tweaked it and they kind of tuned it a little bit differently. So what I would recommend is if you have specific prompts, specific tasks, or specific workflows that didn't quite work with 3.6, I would start with those and try them with 3.7. Again, they made some changes. A lot of it was around like agentic behavior and just different coding tasks. So it really depends on what kind of things you're doing. If you're doing coding things that didn't work, absolutely. If you're doing some kind of like advanced thinking, reasoning, logic type things, which are kind of in line with coding, that didn't work before, didn't work the way you'd like them to, or maybe you just want to see if they work better, faster, more efficiently, cheaper, something along those lines, you can definitely come into AI Studio and try them out. The challenge with this is AI Studio doesn't really like if you normally use like Gemini app, AI Studio has a bunch of other options here, which is great. Again, this is for developers. So this is if you're gonna basically go and code something. And when you code something, you have the full range of capabilities. When you go into Gemini app, you don't have certain things. Like I can't really set system instructions in here. I can't really set top P. I can't, there's nothing in here where it's like, where do I set system instructions? It's a caveat where if you normally use Gemini app and you want to get your hands on the model and you want to try it out and you use AI Studio, you can, but just know that a lot of this stuff over here on the right, it's not available in Gemini app. And in some cases, like for the system instructions, there are things there that you can't see and you can't change. But yeah, I mean, I wish I had more information about when they're going to release it. Like I said, I don't have access to it. So it's like, I don't know. From the last thing that I saw in multiple places in their documentation, it's supposed to be rolled out to everyone already. And I don't even have a solid confirmation when I go to just google.com that it's the model that's using in here. I don't have it in Gemini app. So I don't know. Except the only place I've consistently seen it is AI Studio. I mean, the reality, the way I see it at least, is if you are using Gemini app, you're using 3.6 Flash, and everything works fine, you probably don't need 3.7 Flash. And they'll roll it out whenever they roll it out, or maybe they'll go to 3.8 Flash in another week or two. But if everything that you need to have done is getting done, you don't necessarily have to put too much weight into this. Again, you know your situation way better than I do. So again, if you have some kind of task or workflow that isn't working the way you'd like it to at 3.6, then I would look at 3.7 Flash in AI Studio, try it out, go into the playground, set the model, set the instructions based off of how you're going to actually run it in production, and then try out prompt, try out the workflow, try out whatever tools are associated with it and see how it works. And then you'll have to decide if you're going to build an app around it or what you're going to do, because if it works in AI Studio and then you go back to Gemini app and you don't have access to it, you're going to have to figure a couple of things out. 3.7 Flash is available. It's been out for about more than a week now. According to Google, it's going to be rolled out to everyone. It's supposed to be rolled out to everyone already. I don't see it. Others that I've talked to don't see it yet. Hopefully you do see it or you will see it soon. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.